Hey folks, Ted from Nerd Immersion here, and we got more news yesterday about Tasha's Cauldron. So used to saying that out of Candlekeep Mysteries, primarily from D&D Beyond. But I wanted to touch on a couple of the adventures that we actually received some information from already. So I'm going to jump over there, and we'll talk about that in a second. But hey, if you like the coverage I've been doing here on the channel, consider subscribing. It helps me out, helps me want to keep doing these things, and just makes me feel good. Also, a lot of you have been asking about stuff. So in case you're wondering, I have hundreds of videos and thousands of hours of D&D streamed content, both here on this channel and on my secondary YouTube channel, Nerd Immersion Plays. That's linked in the description if you look down there. And if you go and look at my playlists, you'll see on this channel things like homebrew campaigns, you'll see the first half of some other campaigns, and a ton of pre-written stuff like Horde of the Dragon Queen and Rise of Tiamat and Storm King's Thunder, Tomb of Annihilation, and so on. They're all here. Just check the playlists. You'll find them. That's enough of that, though. Let's go ahead and take a look over to D&D Beyond article here. This is basically came out right after they unveiled Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. So a lot of this stuff is all here. We've already read this, but I want to scroll down because there's more. So it says this adventure starts the characters in the Great Library of Candlekeep. It has a bunch of different resources. Oh, and also to the people that said, oh, it'll never have anything to do with Candlekeep, blah, blah, blah. You were wrong. Because look, this one says it will keep you entirely in Candlekeep, like I had possibly predicted. So suck it, guy on the internet who told me they're not going to have anything to do with adventuring in Candlekeep. Anyway, Amy Vorpal's wild and woolly adventure, Candlekeep Deconstruction. Notice that the C's are replaced with K's, whereas others will take you to lands yet unvisited in 5th edition, such as Jen Kretschmer's The Canopic Being, which takes adventurers to the shining beaches of Tashalar, just inland to the east of the jungles of Chult. We have a separate article on that, so we'll read that. Candlekeep is a perfect hub world for all of these adventures. A place where characters can rest, relax, gather information, and seek out leads for the adventures. Plus, if the DM wants to get them away from Candlekeep, it's as simple as detailing a new book or scroll or scrap of ancient parchment in the library's seemingly infinite archives to guide characters to their next adventure. And it says all DMs can make it their own, or they can play in a world that isn't Forgotten Realms like Eberron, Greyhawk, or Exandria. So they're basically saying it's primarily set there, but I guess anywhere where you would have a major library, you could use this concept. So if you come up with a like the Cobalt Reserve, for example, in Exandria, you could use that as a library to basically trigger all these adventures and just not set them in the Forgotten Realms. Oh, look at that. It goes on to say basically just that. Chris Perkins assures players it can be easily transported away from the Forgotten Realms. For Eberron, it could be the Morgrave Library. For Wildmount, it could be the Rexentrum Archive of the Cobalt Reserve. Okay, so there you go. And then we have, this just came out 2 hours ago, Tamor Redman, I think is how you pronounce it, teases his Candlekeep Mysteries adventure, Zikran's Zephyrian Tome. So here's what we know about this one. Okay, it starts with a tome, mystery adventure. In fact, this book is special. It contains its adventure entirely within its pages, for this book is the eponymous Zephyrian Tome of the sinister Zikran. In order to gain access to the Candlekeep Library, you must present a tome at the gates to get in. And this book is quite unique indeed. Within its trapped pages is a Jinni. Sealed by its former master, he seeks the character's aid in freeing him, and that's where the fun begins. To be assured, some wild hijinks ensue as the characters attempt to solve the mystery of the Jinn imprisoning Libram, though Tamor and the D&D team weren't ready to reveal the full extent of this adventure's secrets in a simple teaser. What he did reveal with great pride is that the Jinn entrapped within the tome is truly grateful to get out and offers the characters a reward. Chris Perkins proudly said that he loves it when D&D storytellers find ways to reward the characters in ways other than gold. And I'm going to guess that it's a wish, which it is because it's a Jinni, so there you go. Imagine what you would do with the power of a Jinni's unlimited wish at your fingertips. The sky's the limit, nay, even the elemental plane of air isn't the limit, and yet if you have the wherewithal to pass up a single wish, you could even gain the Jinni's loyal assistance as you go on further adventures. One wish may be grand, but if your party of adventurers who foresees a long, thrilling, and lucrative career of adventuring ahead of you, perhaps the loyal aid of a magical friend who owes you their life is better than one measly wish. Choice is yours. Okay, it is a short adventure about 10 to 12 pages long, designed to be played in a single session. This one-shot format is great for throwing together a casual weeknight session for playing at conventions or online with COVID, and so on. So there we go. And then we have Jen Kretschmer's, which was the Canopic Being, which is the one that a lot of people are excited about because it takes us to one of the true areas of the Forgotten Realms. There's that meme that goes around that shows like the Remembered Realms, which is just the Sword Coast and Chult. And this takes us kind of to a new location, which is Tashalar. It is a short adventure, again, about 10 to 12 pages, played in a single session. Longtime fans of 5th edition will be thrilled to learn that Kretschmer's adventure, along with presumably several others, will take to areas outside the Sword Coast. So this may lead credence to that concept of the Vistani that I was talking about, because they're using this as an opportunity to not give us full campaign settings or other resource guides of other areas of the Forgotten Realms, but rather just like a one-shot adventure that will take you elsewhere. So it'll lead us to the south, to Tashalar. The Sunny Land is sandwiched between the jungles of Chult to the west and the Majocracy of Halrua to the east, and is known across the realms for its splendid vineyards. The realm is a land of many mercantile city-states. For the foremost with is Tashluda is the setting for this one-shot adventure. Tashluda is built into the caldera of a great volcano, presumably dormant, though you never know. And I think we don't get too much more beyond that. Knowledge of all sorts can be found here. Okay, Tashalar is known for its sun, suntanned people, shining waves. The mystery of the Canopic Being takes us where the sun holds no sway, deep beneath the earth. So Canopic Being, obviously the first thing I think of is Canopic Jar, so we might be dealing with a mummy or a pyramid or something like that. The exact details of this dungeon are unknown, but Kretschmer was clear that she went to great lengths to imagine a functioning 3D version of her dungeon so everything fit together properly. As an ambulatory wheelchair user, Kretschmer says it was important to her that her dungeon was a place that she could explore. As such, it's filled with fantasy elevators, whether they function by pulley or by magic, she didn't say, and ledges are accessible by ramps rather than by stairs. If you have a player in your gaming group who wants to play a wheelchair-using character, this is a great adventure to borrow dungeon design ideas from. After all, it is a fantasy world. If a player's fantasy to kick ass in a wheelchair, why not? Think about it. If we didn't mention that the dungeon was fully accessible here, would you have even noticed that there were ramps instead of stairs? Realistically, probably not. We have one additional Candlekeep adventure to discuss here, and this is Amy Vorpal's Candlekeep Deconstruction. If you've noticed, obviously, the C's in Candlekeep Deconstruction have been replaced with K's, and this is apparently going to be a goofy, hijinks-filled adventure. Maybe this is the one that's going to make it as close to Scooby-Doo as possible. I'm not sure. But it's right in the middle of the book, so that makes it probably means it's going to be mid-tier. And Chris Perkins described it as incredibly silly and a huge tonal shift. It says, let's see. You'll suddenly be jolted to a world full of from a world of dead serious mysteries into a zany caper involving creatures called Skitter Widgets and Kitty Widgets, and a mysterious figure called Dog Nuts. And it says, it'll be zany hijinks, sort of similar to the early Adventure Zone stories. It says, Vorpal says it may not be everybody's taste, but there's going to be 16 other adventures, so chances are you'll find one that fits yours. Apparently, it's also going to confirm Spelljammer, and she says it does. There is some references to Spelljammer in her adventure. Seemingly like everything else, though, it is about a 10 to 12 page adventure, so it probably won't be a full set of rules more than just a cameo appearance. And it says, still not unlike the spelljamming helm that appeared in Waterdeep Dungeon of the Mad Mage, it could give enterprising DMs ammo to create their own spacefaring spelljamming adventures with official 5e rules. So for all of you out there looking for Spelljammer, you're going to get a little bit more in this book. Also, I have something fun to say, and that is a giveaway tied to this video. So if you remember a while back, Elminster's Candlekeep Companion came out on the DMs Guild. Currently, as you can see here, 57 4.5 star, 57 ratings, 4.5 stars, best platinum seller. I did a review of it here on the channel. You can go ahead and check that out. There's a DMs Guild review video that I did. And because Candlekeep is coming out, thankfully, the folks behind it, you can see the great team associated with this, reached out to me and was curious if I'd like to do a giveaway of Elminster's Candlekeep Companion on the channel here. So they're actually going to give me 5 keys of this to give away. So what basically is going to happen is I'm going to say leave a comment on this video. If you comment on this video, I will let this run. Let's see, it's the 16th right now. I'll let this run until 11:59 p.m. tomorrow, the 17th of January. Reminder, I'm on Eastern time, so keep that in your mind if you're elsewhere in the world. So 11:59 p.m. on 11/17, I will choose 5 winners at random from people who have commented on this video. And then all I'll need from you is, after the fact, I'll need to get your email address in some way. And then once I choose you as a winner, you'll have to hit me up on social media or something, unless you want to have your email address be publicly in a YouTube comment. You reach out to me. I will then reach out to the creators, and they'll send you a copy via email. So comment on this video, and you will be a winner, and then you'll hit me up on social media. So 5 winners. All you got to do is just comment on this YouTube video. So that is pretty much it. Again, let me know what you want to do about this going forward. Do you want me to sort of wait until, if they're going to be releasing like an article like this almost 2 or 3 times a week on D&D Beyond, would you rather me do a video every day covering each article, or sort of wait until the end of the week and then do an aggregation and cover what little bits of information we get here and there? It doesn't seem like they're giving us a ton of information, just like a little few snippets here and there. This one was exceedingly short, this article. It's going to be goofy, and it's going to maybe have Spelljammer. That's basically all we got, and it might be mid-tier. I'd say about a third of that article is just talking about the Adventure Zone and how that was zany, and here's how it was. Less about actually giving us adventure-related stuff. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you to my patrons over on Patreon for continuing to support me. I will see you all next time.